With your Bravo reformer, you're going to get 3 Allen keys and then the special spanner wrench for the foot bar, and then it's really good to have a razor blade to open the boxes, but do it carefully. Hi folks, this is Ken from the BB Garage. Today we're going to talk about unboxing the Balance Body Bravo reformer. First of all, get the reformer, inside the house if you can. Sometimes you can unbox it outside, but you want to do it on a soft surface. It helps if you do it on something that's rubberized or carpeted or something like that, so that you don't cause any problems. You don't scratch your floor and you don't scratch the machine. So first thing I like to do, and I'll do it from the other side, is I just like to pull the sides out and pop the staples. Being careful not to cut your fingers on the cardboard. And I'm just going across the bottom. And you can hear me pop these things. Coming over here. Get your fingers underneath there. Pop it. You did a good job here. There we go. And then we'll come here and we'll start popping these guys here. If you're smart, when you put it down, you'll put it on a couple of 2x4s or some books or something, just to get it a little bit off the floor, so that when you do try and get your fingers underneath there, you can get your fingers in there if it's a little bit higher off. So you just kind of want to elevate it. Okay, there you go. And I'm going to pull this up, flip it around, and here's the beginning here. So, if you're smart, you'll have a razor blade. Always watch out, these things are sharp, right? You want to kind of cut the tape here. Being careful not to cut past the tape. That's done. Now you've got your reformer, okay? What we can see now is all this cool stuff now. You'll notice we've gotten rid of almost all the plastic packaging now. In this tray here, which I'm going to take out, there's a whole bunch of parts, so be careful. But you'll see your shoulder rest here, side rolling wheels here. Inside here is your stoppers and your knobs for putting in the shoulders. Your loops, and then underneath here is your foot bar, and there's going to be some other stuff. So I'm just going to lift this up now, and I'm going to take it out of the way. This is not included. That's heavy. This is going to be your setting box here. We'll take that out and get this out of the way. I'm going to put this right here for now. Inside this, you've got your risers. So one thing to remember is when you're unpacking this guy is that if you see a box, don't just assume that it's just some stupid packaging. Make sure there's nothing inside of it. We don't want you throwing away perfectly good parts thinking it's garbage. So if you see a box that looks plain like this, make sure you look inside here to see if there's anything in there still. Okay? There we go. Okay, so we're not done yet. Now we've got to take the carriage out of the frame because we're trying to make everything lighter from when we lift it up. So we'll just pull this up, put it down over here. Careful not to bang the corners of the carriage. And now we're ready to get my friend in here to help me lift the frame up and take it out of the box. Ready? Well done. Okay, let's get this thing going here. Let's start putting it together. I'm going to first start by taking some of this stuff out of the box here. These are the shoulders, right? This is going to be an important wrench. An Allen key, which is really important, so make sure you keep your tools together. These are going to be for the risers. We'll get to those in a second. This will be for the shoulders. These are going to be the rolling wheels to move your reformer around. That's probably one of the last things that we put on. Then we've got these eye bolts. Make sure you don't lose the washers that are on the eye bolts when you take them out. We'll put those there. the loops and your foot strap. This is the important thing. You should look at this first. These are the instructions. Now we get in here, and there's a few more things that we need. But the most important thing is I wanted to get to the springs because I want to put the springs on the carriage first, okay? So this is what you do. I'm going to disconnect these guys. Okay. So how you put the springs on the carriage, it's really simple. You can do this in a lot of different ways. What I do is I put them on like this from the bottom, and then aim them towards down below. And I usually do a red on the side, a red in the middle, another red. Now notice when I put the springs in, the hooks are facing the floor, okay? That's the important thing. Otherwise, they'll fall off. And that's why I'm threading them in from the inside. All right. So now, here's the thing. When you put this guy in, you want to lower him into the frame really carefully so that you guide it in there and you don't bang the upholstery on the side of the frame. Once you get that done and you position it, gently lower it. And if you haven't figured it out, this is the head end, this is the foot end, okay? That's that part. While we're here, we'll move the ropes. This is the stuff for the foot bar. We'll take the foot bar away and we'll get rid of another box. And you can see we're getting closer. Okay, so before I forget, don't forget to put a few springs, or maybe all the springs, and hook them up to the frame so that the carriage doesn't move around while you're there. And it doesn't matter whether you do all 5 springs or if you do just one spring, but at least things aren't going to be moving around when you're going back and forth. Okay, so let's do the risers. As I said, that's in this box here. Let's open it up, see what kind of surprises we have. This is what they look like on the inside. We're going to pull these off here. That's one. And that's going to go in like this, right? Okay. And then this is the other one. And this one's going to go on this side. Okay. There's 2 positions on these risers. The way they're set up is that you set the machine up either in the low position or the high position. They're not really designed to flip back and forth during a workout. It's just kind of like, what's your preference? Do you like them low or do you like them high? So the high position, if you look at here, there's this little ring right here. You can barely see it. When you level it up to just the very top of the platform here, then you should be able to just take this knob in here, and it'll find the threaded insert inside the riser. And then you tighten this knob down, and then with the Allen key, you get the right one, and then you tighten this other set screw in. Clearly this Allen key doesn't fit, but I know that there's another Allen key inside this box here. And this is the one that comes for the carriage. And you'll see if you open this up, you'll see the carriage stopper. We'll put that here for now. And you'll see these 2 pieces here. Oh, here's an Allen key right there. These are going to go with the carriage here. We'll get back to that in a minute. And then inside here, we should see an Allen key that should fit. And if I was a little bit more nimble, I'm just going to do this because it's faster. We'll see if this works. And it looks to me like this is the right one. So we just tighten this guy up. And this is kind of a cool thing because it really makes this thing so it doesn't wiggle. Okay. So that's that. This one's done. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to lift this up until the slot lines up with the frame. We're going to put this guy in here like this, into the hole. It finds the threaded insert inside the tube. We tighten the knob out. And this is actually enough to hold everything in place. The set screw that's in there is actually kind of a bonus thing. It makes things just a little bit more tight. It takes up the slop out. So you take that out. We'll take this with the little Allen key, and we'll tighten that up. And that's that. There we go. We make that tight. Tighten that up. And there we go. We're done. Okay. So we're going to save this for later. Okay? Next thing we're going to do, let's keep our Allen keys where we can see them because we know we're going to need them again. We're going to go to do the shoulders on the carriage. These guys here. These guys, you'll notice that they're offset. So if you put these things in so the brackets are towards the center, then they're going to be in the narrowest position. So actually, so what's happening now, you can see this offset, right? If I put them in like this, and these things are closest to the center, then it makes the shoulders narrower. So for your brawny dudes, you may want to set it up differently. But that's how this works. And then these guys go in here. And they're in there tight. That's all done. Okay, great. All right. While we're here, we might as well just do the ropes. Kind of a simple procedure. I think the hardest thing is taking things out of the bags here. And we have our loops here. So there's instructions on how to do this, guys, but really, it is like so unbelievably simple. If you just stick this through like this, and then take the loop and put it through the loop on the rope, and slide it down like this, it's done, right? That's one, all right? I'm going to show you again, right? I'm going to take this loop, stick it through the small loop, take the loop from the rope, put it over this, it's done, right? Just to set it up, I usually put it over the shoulders. Then I take it through the pulley, back to here. I put it through here. Then I hold it down into the cleat, okay? And that's where I get it started. And these guys have, on this side here, you can take this and force this down like this. If you want to, there's a little hole in here, and I'm going to show you on the other one how that works, okay? We'll move this down so you can see the hole, all right? So this side, same drill. Go through the pulley, come back. I'm going to take this off so you can see it. And then to the next eye strap, push it down into the cleat. Before I pull it tight, I'm gonna do that. I'm now going to force this underneath the shoulder. And I don't know if you can see a little hole, but there's a little hole right here. I'll get rid of this too so you can see it. There's the hole. That goes in there. Now it's like hide and go seek for the rope. So that's that part. Okay. That's down right there. Your machine will also come with the limiter back here. This is a stopper. It fits back into these holes right here. There you go. All right. Next step is going to be the foot bar. On the foot bar, you're going to see that there's a zipper on it. The zipper, you put the foot bar on so that the zipper is more towards the outside of the machine. So you'll notice that it's not really exactly at 6 o'clock. It's more like at 5 o'clock. You want it towards the outside. You're going to need to cut this away without cutting your finger. There you go. And you're going to see inside here, there's a bunch of pieces. I'll show you what they are here. there's 2 bolts, 2 washers, and then there's these square nuts right here, okay? So that's what you need. How they're going to go on is the washer first, and then the square nut, and then we're going to assemble them onto the machine, okay? So here you go. Don't forget, you want to have the zipper closest to the outside of the machine. There are these little tiny pins here. They're going to drop through these slots in the top. So you come straight in from the top. We're going to drop them into place here. Now, I found this a little bit easier if I put a little bit of pressure expanding these things out so they fit down into the slots. Did that one, did that one. Now we're in place, okay? And now we're pivoting it. Now we're going to put these bolts in here. So first we do is we move the foot bar forward so that we can now see the threaded hole inside here, which is where the screw is going to go in. And then we got to get the bolt in there. Here, let's do it this way. I think what we'll do is we'll put this guy in first, like that. Then we'll grab him and slide him into place so we can get this started. And I always get this stuff started with the fingers first because you don't want to cross-thread it. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one. And then I'll come back and I'll tighten it with the wrench. So it worked for me best if I put the square thing in first. And then I'll take the bolt with the washer. I'll stick it through that bronze thing. I'll find the hole and I'll start tightening it by hand. And now that I've done it, tightened it by hand, we're going to take this cool wrench here and we're going to torque it down. Okay. And I put a fair amount of pressure on it. And this is like one thing that you're going to want to check periodically just to make sure that it doesn't get loose. It shouldn't. Oh, that's solid. Okay. Got the foot bar on there. Got the springs on, got the ropes on. I think the next step is to put on the foot strap and then the transport wheels. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put in the eye bolts for the foot strap. This is really simple. You've got these eye bolts here. Make sure you keep all the washers in place. You just screw you screw these in like that. They're already pre-threaded. You go in like this and screw these in. I'll show you how to do this one too. You can do these simultaneously if you want. And then what you'll do is, how I tighten these guys up is I first get them finger tight. Got a little bit more on this guy here to go. And then I'll stick an Allen key in here just to get some leverage here, like this. And I'll give them the final tight. And when you're done orienting, they should be vertical, okay? Make sure you don't scratch the extrusion with the Allen key. So you can do that like this. There you go. That's nice. And then these guys go on. These are quick links here. You just unscrew them like this. And get this one unscrewed. And I want to put those on so the foot straps, so the label's on the top. Goes on like this. If you want to, you can take a Allen wrench and you can tighten these things really tight. I don't usually tighten them because they don't usually come out, but I think you want to make sure that you don't have any twists on your foot strap. But the problem is if you tighten them with a wrench, then when you decide you want to wash them, it's another headache because then you have to unscrew them and it makes it tougher. So that's done, right? So now we're going to put the wheels on. There's 2 screws. If you look at the wheel here, there's a straight side here and an angled side on the bottom. The straight side goes up, and that's important because there's a left side wheel and a right side wheel, okay? So you put these in position, you put your screws in, and they go into the hole, and then into here, And then I'll start with my fingers. And again, finger tight. Make them tight. Next thing, we'll do the same deal here. Again, the straight side goes up. If it's beveled, then it's wrong. It's a lot easier to do because I'm using my right hand. And I think he is solid. Okay, last thing after this is the box. If we're ready, we'll go do it. Are we good? Last but not least, I'm only letting a little tiny bit of this blade stick out because I want to make sure I'm not going to cut anything in this box. And, you know, really, it doesn't hurt just to not even use a blade on the box. And there we go. All done. Your reformer is ready to go. And you got this beautiful reformer packaged in cardboard, made with recycled materials. Thanks a lot. Welcome to BB Garage. If you want more information, just go to pilates.com/BB Garage. Thanks a lot, and we look forward to the next video.